to know what your case is really worth? I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
There's more than one way to listen to ESPN Baton Rouge on the radio at 104.5 and 104.9 and 98.1 HD2. Online at 1045ESPN.com and with the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in! Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Halloween Friday. It means we're brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Jordan Kitchens, Cassie Spazzali back there on the ones and twos. Fired up, you're hanging out with us. Hopefully that work week is in the rearview mirror. If it's not, we'll get you to the finish line. I'm getting ready to get to the finish line, quite honestly. I got a text about 20 minutes ago that suggested that our Halloween party, our trick-or-treat location, headquarters, is going to be stocked with margaritas. This pleases me because this week deserves some margaritas, and we're going to have some of this a little bit later, but let's do 2 hours of radio first. Bruce Feldman's got a story out on Brian Kelly's last days. We're going to talk about that at 2 o'clock. I am going to have a little bit of fun today picking SEC games against the spread. A lot of today's show is not that much fun, a little bit heavier than normal, but we're going to do it. But I'm going to pick games against the spread at 2:15. Kevin Goslin's got a chance to win the World Series tonight. That'll come up. Preston Guy, TigerBait.com with us in 15 minutes. Just lots and lots and lots of thoughts about what we thought was going to be a quiet week in LSU football, an open day. Not quiet. Maybe the most busy I've ever seen. And so we'll get into it with our Genesis opening drive.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive, presented by Genesis of Baton Rouge.
Look, we have known since Wednesday when the governor spoke at that press conference that Scott Woodward's time at LSU was coming to an end very, very quickly, and that did happen on Thursday night. The official party line is that the two parted ways amicably. Scott Woodward and LSU decided to go in a different direction. That's what we'll go with. And I think it's important to just now lay out where LSU is. And that starts with what you're parting ways from, and that's Scott Woodward. You know, obviously he's a Baton Rouge guy, Catholic High guy, LSU guy. Worked at LSU, built up into the ranks, and then eventually went out to Washington, became their athletic director. He hired Chris Peterson there, which was a monster get for Scott. Then he moved down to Texas A&M, hired Jimbo Fisher, and when Scott Woodward left Texas A&M, things looked really good with Jimbo Fisher. The next year, they went 9-1, and Ross Bjork extended that contract. He also hired Buzz Williams, who did some really good things at Texas A&M before moving on. But he came to LSU, and he came home. And you know, you can talk a lot of ways about Scott's time at LSU. There are a lot of positives. National championships speak for themselves. He hired Kim Mulkey, she won one. He hired Jay Johnson, he won a couple. He hired Jay Clark, he won one. Now, Mulkey was at Baylor. Was that stale? I don't know, but he got her to come home. Jay Johnson was a great find for him out at Arizona, not a name that I thought a lot about, and I follow college baseball very closely. Jay Johnson won a lot of games, went to Omaha twice at Arizona, so it wasn't like a complete unknown, but it was a phenomenal hire. And Jay Clark was here, and Scott Woodward made him the head coach. But those coaches won championships. On the flip side, there was the saga with Will Wade, and you can kind of split that one down the middle. There are some people that think what Will Wade did in Baton Rouge was embarrassing to the university, was illegal in terms of the rules of college basketball, and needed to be moved on from. There are some that staunchly defend Will Wade. I'll say this. I know that I really enjoyed Will Wade's time as the LSU men's basketball coach. That was really fun. I launched that podcast, and it could be part of the reason I'm sitting here today. I very much enjoyed when Will Wade was here. But Scott Woodward let Will Wade go, and he hired a new basketball coach. And to this point, Matt McMahon hasn't won very much. I'm excited to go watch them play on Wednesday But to this point, the record is what the record is. He hired Brian Kelly to a $95 million contract. It didn't work. And everyone knows, if you're an athletic director at one of these monster schools and you hire a football coach and it does not work, you can pay for that with your job. That is well known in these circles. Now, plenty of coaches get to hire a couple of plenty of athletic directors get to hire a couple of football coaches. Scott Woodward not afforded that opportunity as LSU and Scott Woodward parted ways. You can ask 5 different LSU fans what they thought about Scott Woodward's run at LSU, and you're going to get 5 different answers. Mine is that I think that Scott did a lot of really good things. My take on athletic directors is this. It's not a Scott Woodward thing. It's just an athletic director thing. Hiring coaches is a monster crapshoot. Huge crapshoot. You just don't know what's going to hit big and what's going to flop. And so I'm not going to hold one individual hire against any athletic director because it's just really hard to do. It's hard to poke holes in Brian Kelly's pre-LSU resume. It really is. But it didn't work. And then you hear people say, well, he's on the hook for all that money. And I'm not as concerned with the financial part of it. It's not my money. I know that there are people that are very concerned with the financial part, and I get that too. Not my money. I'm concerned with the results. I don't care if the coach makes $10 million a year, if the coach makes $3 million a year. What are the results? That's the only thing that matters to me at LSU. And Brian Kelly's results weren't atrocious, but they weren't good enough. And he was let go. I would have kept Scott Woodward because I believe Scott Woodward has great contacts in collegiate athletics. And I believe this deeply. I believe Scott Woodward really cares about LSU. And that means something to me as an LSU alum and as an LSU supporter. I'm not suggesting that's right or wrong. It's how I feel. I like somebody in there that cares. In big money business, there can be people that don't care. We're going to talk about Brian Kelly at the top of hour number 2. He was here at LSU. He was coaching. Do you think that blood was bleeding purple and gold? And look, Ed Ogeron says his does, and the results his last 2 years were terrible. That's not the only thing that matters. But it's a piece to this puzzle that I consider, and I think Scott bled purple and gold, and that bums me out that he's no longer here. But I understand it wasn't perfect. Now, that's the past. That's over. What's now? What's next? And if you heard Brian Kelly's press conference when he took the LSU job, one word reigned the day. Alignment, 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 alignment. You have no alignment now. And that's not because everyone hates each other. That's because no one exists. As I sit in this chair right now, LSU has an interim university president, interim athletic director, and interim head football coach. Okay? That is not a desirable spot. But that's where LSU finds itself. So what happens now? Well, you're gonna have a new president named on Tuesday. So the interim to the interim to the interim is going to be broken up on Tuesday. It's almost ridiculous to say out loud. But that's going to be broken up on Tuesday when you hire a president. And we all believe that's going to be Wade Roos. That's kind of hard to say. A little bit of a tongue twister. Wade Roos. That's likely who's going to be the president come Tuesday. And today at the press conference, which included the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, it included the chair of the athletic committee of the Board of Supervisors and the interim athletic director, the stated mission was that we're going to go find a football coach now. Was there a timeline for the athletic director? No. So what you're going to do is you're going to appoint an interim athletic director that the president, who will take his role on Tuesday, had nothing to do with. He and a committee are going to go hire a football coach that right now does not know who his boss is going to be. You've all listening taken jobs, I'd imagine. There are probably some of you that have been self-employed the entire time, but the vast majority of us have taken jobs. It's really nice to know who your boss is. Really nice to know who you're reporting to. And it's really nice to know that your boss hired you and took a chance on you. And that right now is not going to be the case with the new LSU football coach. Now, it stands to reason that the new president will come in Tuesday, will suggest, hey, committee, keep doing your work there to hire a football coach, but we need to go find an athletic director, and he can go help with that. And maybe you hire an athletic director who will then join the committee to hire the coach, but you see how long it's taking me to explain this, and that creates the potential issues. And I say potential issues because, look, I say this all the time with coaching searches that don't involve this many pieces. The process is not necessarily as important as the outcome. There are plenty of great coaching searches that are done in the dead of the night, that are quiet, that are decisive, that are quick, that are done, that don't work. LSU just did that with Brian Kelly. Nobody was talking about Brian Kelly. It did not take a long time. It was in November, right after LSU played a football game the weekend prior. And the hire was made. It was done. No one knew names that were floated until it was over. And you went and got literally what is going to be a Hall of Fame coach. That's as good a process as you could have. And it didn't work. And at that point, you had a governor and a president and an athletic director that were all on the same page. You had John Bell Edwards, William Tate, and Scott Woodward. And there are plenty of y'all listening to that would go, well, I hate all three of those guys. And that's fine. Politics are politics, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they were all in alignment. They all got along. They all understood each other's roles. They all let each other do their jobs. And it netted a really nicely done coaching search that didn't work. So I'm not here to tell you that this coaching search can't work because you got a bunch of interims all over the place and the hires are out of order. I'm just suggesting more often than not, it's nice when things are in line, and they're not right now. LSU is in a weird spot. And the only thing that most of y'all care about is the result of this head football coaching search. And that's what was the priority in this press conference today. Was it a great press conference? I would suggest probably not. That doesn't matter either. Press conferences aren't on the scoreboard. But what you need to have happen is LSU go hire a really good football coach. And the question that has to be raised is the dysfunction, is the disorganization that is going on with LSU because of all the interims that are lined up and everybody that's been parted ways with or lost their jobs or been elected, that's all very fuzzy. Does the new coach, the new prospective coaches, do they hold that against LSU and decide to go somewhere else? That remains to be seen. I don't know. Virgil Audiferi was very adamant today that his phone is ringing, that he believes LSU to be the best job in the country, and he's going to go hire a great football coach. And Virgil Audiferi has been involved in a lot of coaching searches over the years at LSU. He's been a trusted staffer in that athletic department for decades. So we'll see. We'll see what the result is. At this point, it's just speculation. It's a bumpy start. That doesn't mean it's going to be a bumpy result. But right now, there are a lot of people looking from the outside in at Baton Rouge, in at LSU, and going, I'm not real sure about all this. And there are a lot of layers to it, and we'll get to more of that in 15 minutes when I talk about the week that has been and the quotes that we have gotten and what may or may not be. I'll just leave. We'll do it in 15 minutes. But it's been a wild, wild week down here in Baton Rouge. And right now, full steam ahead trying to go get a football coach. Let's talk about it with Preston Guy when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Every car that's on the lot is online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com. They're on airline at PQ. When you're in the market for a vehicle, consider Genesis. It is a luxury brand at a reasonable price. When I say luxury brand, you should think Genesis. I know there are brands that come up in your mind. Genesis should be one of them. And when I say luxury, don't immediately go, well, can't afford that. Check it out. Might be surprised. Go talk to one of their brand ambassadors, walk the lot, weather's nice and cool now, and see that incredible line of vehicles. All of them, every single model in the line is an IHS top safety pick. All of them. So you know you're behind the wheel of one of the safest cars on the road. You'll get the style. You'll get the comfort. You'll see all those bells and whistles. You'll know you're dealing with wonderful people. It's a first-class experience. A wonderful place. It's Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972.
You're listening to The Hun Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
There were two quotes in particular today that, when paired with the previous 48 hours of talk from Governor Landry, that I want to talk about in the next segment. So we'll get to that coming up. Right now, we talk to Preston Guy every single week on Fridays, tigerbait.com. He joins us now on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Preston, how are we doing?
You know, Hun, I'm hanging in there. It's been a tumultuous time on the beat, but it's what we're here for.
I'm hopeful there's a cold refreshment in your future, in the near future, this evening as trick-or-treating fires up. There certainly is one in mine.
Man, we'll see. You know, I got a 9-month pregnant wife I got to take care of. I'm gonna take it easy on those. So, yeah, no, it'd be really bad to knock down a couple of those, and here it comes.
I've been there. I understand how that goes. All right, well, let's talk about LSU. I don't even know where to start, Preston. Let's start with last weekend, Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. What went through your mind watching both of those play out?
Well, apparently whatever went down in Baton Rouge Saturday night was a terminable offense for everybody who resembled a leader in the city and state. Head coach fired, AD fired. Of course, president already got pushed out. So now LSU is essentially a leaderless institution. And a lot of that could be blamed on that loss to the Aggies. I will say this, being in the stadium, on the field, it felt a little more than a loss. It felt almost like a foreign invasion takeover. I tweeted a video of that Aggie yell after the game, and there was just something harrowing about Texas A&M fans completely taking over your stadium with more fans than you, and just the genuine apathy and acceptance that seemingly came from the LSU sideline. Of course, bad looks of Brian Kelly heading into the locker room, then being dragged out to do the alma mater. It's kind of one of those things where at LSU, you're expected in moments of being challenged like that and in moments of loss, you're expected to have pride intact. That's where you show your mettle. And it certainly seems in that instance, Brian Kelly failed to show such mettle, and that is why he is no longer the football coach of the LSU Tigers.
Was that the right decision?
You know, Hunt, here's the deal. You can talk all you want about finances and all that jazz, but what evidence were you going to get that Brian Kelly would give you something to believe in next season, right? I mean, this is a coach who had every resource. He had everything he needed to put this team together. And, you know, the portal was hot. He had a fifth-year senior quarterback. And like at that point, what more do you need to make the college football playoff? And you were staring at 7-5 in the face, and you were about to lose probably about 16 starters. And who the heck was going to give you money to work a portal after you just wasted everybody's money on a team that's about to go 7-5? So I think if LSU had not fired Brian Kelly, it would have found itself in catastrophic situation this offseason, being that, okay, season ticket prices are going up. Really? You're about to lose 10,000 season ticket holders over this mess because nobody believes in you and they're sick of it. So you look at the finances of losing that kind of income alone, that would have meant bad things for the program. So, yeah, I do understand why they did it. I will say, seeing the fallout that has ensued since the termination, boy, I couldn't have predicted all this going down, but it is what it is.
What have you thought about the week that's been here in South Louisiana?
Yeah, you know, I kind of want to talk, you know, it makes me want to talk as an alumnus rather than, you know, a reporter for once. I know I have to kind of keep that cap on, but, you know, my heart aches in a way that's pretty difficult to describe for my alma mater as a, you know, third-generation alumnus. It's pretty difficult. But it shows a severe lack of leadership in our state. Organization is in disarray. We're getting a mixed bag of truths and mistruths from your governor, who is breaking the, you know, first and foremost rule of college athletics, and that is protect the brand. And right now what's going on is damaging to the brand of LSU in a way. I mean, how many coaches do you think that would be interested in this elite job, possibly top 5 job in the country normally, under normal circumstances, are currently mocking LSU and saying, I ain't taking that? I would imagine we really don't want to know the answer to that. So, you know, I think they have built themselves quite the hole to dig out of, given that there's been, you know, brand damage to the program. And, you know, LSU fans are outraged in a way that the last 6 days, the last time I saw outrage out of this program was the 2012 BCS National Championship. And that's a good thing, no. You should be outraged. You should not accept what you're seeing. The minute your rage subsides into apathy and acceptance, this program is cooked. So, you know, we should continue to see most of that.
So today there was a press conference. Virgil Osbury, interim athletic director, 2 members of the board, including the chairman, and they were very adamant, like, we're going to go find a football coach. We don't have a timeline for the athletic director. President's coming on Tuesday. What do you make of this decision to put Verge there, the committee that's been assembled, and what the process looks like for LSU over the next, call it, 6 weeks?
Well, I do have to say, at least we're seeing some semblance of organization, which we didn't see in the previous, 4 days since Brian Kelly had been fired. There is a committee in place. Looks like another is coming on board once they announce the president on Tuesday. And I'll say this. I don't know. Verge Osbury at least gets it. He played for LSU. He's been here for decades. You know, I don't know how talented he is at identifying coaching talent and being able to bring it in and rally the boosters to buy in on it. And so he's got a tough task ahead of him. But I liked a lot of the messaging. You know, a lot of what I was saying just a bit ago, he mentioned how apathy. He mentioned how he gets it. You need to be in the playoffs every year in LSU football. And I would even argue that's a lofty standard even for LSU, because you're going to have some down years every once in a while. Just offset that with a deep playoff run or maybe an SEC championship. You know what I mean? But that certainly should be your average bar. So I liked a lot of what I heard. It certainly sounded more organized and put together than what we've seen from the governor's rambling over the last 48 hours.
Let's briefly touch on the football team that does have to play 4 more games. Frank Wilson's the interim head coach. You heard him speak earlier this week, and he brought a bunch of former players back this week. They're in the open date. What's kind of your big picture thought on the next 4 weeks?
Yeah, I would tell you that what matters more than the wins and losses is how the team conducts itself. Frank Wilson is a guy who is beloved by LSU fans, and he's an elite recruiter, and is a program, a reputation that speaks for itself. That being said, as a head football coach, he's never had a winning season, so I don't know that there's any strong expectations that I'm holding for this team to win any games that they weren't going to win before. Certainly I expect them to beat Western Kentucky. You'd like to see them beat Arkansas, but it's a daunting task to say go out there and win out or anything like that. But ideally, I think the theme that we're all going to see is just how is the pride of the program? How is the securing of the brand? How well are you representing this program? Are you going to go out there and lay an egg and look embarrassing like you did against Texas A&M? Are you going to do like John Trey Kirkland and go out there and say, we fighting Tigers, man. If we got 11, we're going to show up. That's more so what I'm looking for. My expectations are that they go 2-2, but I'll layer in, I also expect Frank and company to represent this program and institution very well.
Preston, we appreciate some time. We'll let you get back to that family, and best of luck to you all. We hopefully will talk next week.
All right, Hunt. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Sounds good. He's Preston Guy, TigerBait.com, with us every single Friday. Our Friday show is brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Looking to feed a big crew tonight for Halloween. You got some folks coming over to trick or treat and don't want to dirty up the kitchen. You got a lot of stuff going on. You got to get the kids in costumes. Go by Cork's. Get one of their big party packs. They've got the big haul. They've got those big trays of catfish and shrimp and shoestring fries. Just get a big mess of corks over there from government between Foster and Jefferson. They are happy to help you out. The menu is online, corksfishandshrimp.com. We'll come back. I want to put kind of a bow on the week that has been, things that have been said, things that were said in the press conference today. It involves the governor. It involves the board of supervisors. It involves a lot of different folks and what was said, what was done, and where things are going. We'll do that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com is the website. They are on Segan at Perkins. Get on by this weekend. Hit some golf shots. You can do it to hang out, drink a couple of cold beers, enjoy some football on television, and hang out with the friends in one of your private bays. You can also go by there and work on your game. It's climate controlled. It's got great technology. You can also turn it on to, I love doing this. You put it on the famous courses from around the world. Pebble Beach is on there. TPC Sawgrass is on there. Bethpage Black is on there. You play a lot of courses from around the world, and it's done in like an hour and 10 minutes for a round. Beats a 5-hour round out there waiting shot to shot at one of the courses around town. Go see them. Segan at Perkins at Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. we build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Chugging along here on this Friday. Hope yours is a good one. Gorgeous Halloween Friday here in the capital city. Looking forward to getting out there doing a little trick-or-treating. Hopefully you are as well. Got to get to the finish line, and we will certainly get there. It has been a wild week down here in South Louisiana as it pertains to Louisiana State University and our state government, with the top of that state government and the governor. So I want to lay this out here. The governor went on the offensive on Wednesday in that press conference. He was answering a question, yes, but in my estimation was making a statement as well in suggesting that Scott Woodward would not be involved in the coaching search. Why would Scott Woodward not be involved in the coaching search? He's the sitting athletic director. And his answer to that, time and time again, was about the contract and the liability that it put on the state of Louisiana and the taxpayers. This is something that he said in that press conference. It's something he said again on the Pat McAfee show. It's something he said again with Matt yesterday. This has clearly been the biggest issue he has had. He tweeted out the contract on his X account, Twitter account, whatever you want to call it. This is his chief issue with Scott Woodward, that in Brian Kelly's contract, the state and the taxpayers are on the hook for a $53 million buyout. This is the thing that has been his biggest sticking point. His words, not mine. So he goes on with Matt yesterday, and Matt asked him a question, and I want you to listen to these answers that the governor gave. I'm going to play 4 of them for you. I want you to listen to these answers and the way that they are crafted. And this is when you get into politics, which I don't live in that world very often, but it's very, very easy to decipher. So this is Matt asking if there is any precedent for state dollars being paid to buy out a football coach.
Is there any precedent for state tax dollars paying a buyout for a coach?
Well, I don't know. You mean in the country or in the state of Louisiana?
I couldn't find one in the country today, but I was just using Google and AI. But if you know of any, I'd be curious.
No, I don't know, Matt. But here's the most important thing. I have to live in Realville. I have to know who ultimately has to pay the bill if no one does step up. No one came to the mansion and said, hey, I got a $53 million check. Don't worry, Governor, we got this. Let's make that very clear. But what has happened in the past, and certainly we haven't had a price tag this big, but in the past, it had been TAP or somebody else that had come up there and said, hey, we want to make a change in coaching, and we're willing to help offset whatever these costs are. Nobody stepped up.
Okay. So there's pieces to that I want to get to. The first 3 words out of his mouth are, I don't know. I don't know. Those are the first 3 things he said. I don't know if there's any precedent for that. Now, Governor Landry is correct. In that contract, It says that Brian Kelly is bound by LSU and LSU is state funded. We've covered that. He is correct by the letter of the law, and that is what he is leaning on here. Now, he says nobody came with the check to the mansion and says, I got it. Nobody stepped up, as far as he knows. So this is what he's going to lean on. It's the biggest price tag ever, and I'm concerned because the taxpayers, but is there any precedent for that? I don't know. Okay, we get to the next one. He's suggesting that Scott Woodward is not going to be involved in the next coaching hire. He said that. So Matt asked him about whether or not the LSU would have to honor and pay that remainder of his contract, which is over 3 years and over $5 million. So this is the thing he's most concerned about is the buyout dollars. That's the biggest thing. And this is the governor's answer.
Would you be in favor? So Scott Woodward has 3.5 years remaining on his deal, and the buyout for Scott Woodward would be north of $6 million. Would you be in favor of removing Scott Woodward if it came down to paying a $6 million buyout?
Look, what I'm going to tell you, Matt, is I'm not interested in having Scott Woodward negotiate and pick the next coach. Look, again, I want to look real carefully at how this agent process works.
So he doesn't answer. He doesn't answer the question. Now, he could lean back on with that answer. He could go, well, I'm more concerned with the $53 million buyout as opposed to the $6 million. And I'm more interested that he doesn't do that negotiation to get us in trouble. And he can lean on that. It's fine. But when the money got flipped about that decision, the guy he doesn't want, well, we don't answer that question. And that's politics. And he doesn't have to answer the question. But I hear it. I hear the no answer. So we'll go to the next one. We talk about, Governor Landry brought this up to Matt. Talked about LSU coming hat in hand asking the state for money for facilities and all types of things. So Matt just said, well, did the state fund stadium expansion? Governor Landry brought this up. LSU comes to me hat in hand. Well, did the state pay for that? Here's his answer.
What about LSU athletics, however? Because as I understand it, LSU athletics is completely self-generated.
Really? So they built that stadium completely with no tax dollars?
Well, please.
They didn't come to the bond commission to be able to bond the project. I mean, no, Matt. I mean, that's where everybody keeps missing the point. But look, if somebody came to me and said, hey, we need this coach, we're going to pay $100 million, and Matt Moscona is going to put the $100 million up or guarantee the $100 million, that's okay, fine.
Did taxpayer dollars fund stadium expansion?
That's a great question. But I can tell you one thing. Unless they had the cash, they had to bond it. If they went to bond it, they probably went to the bond commission. There is, you know who's on the bond commission? The governor, the Senate president, the speaker, the chairman of revenue, the House chairman of revenue, the House chairman of fiscal affairs, like the lieutenant governor, the secretary of state, the attorney general. Like those are all political people.
So Matt asked the question, well, did that happen? Well, it's a great question. He doesn't answer again because that's not what he wants to talk about. I don't know the answer to the question either, but I didn't bring it up. He doesn't answer the question. This is politics. So Matt asked him if there's any precedent for the state buying out a coach. I don't know. Matt asked him, was there any state funds used in stadium expansion? That's a great question. I don't know. And so he continues to not answer any of the questions. And then he finishes with this answer to Matt.
Is there anything else that we haven't discussed that we need to?
I don't think so, Matt. The only thing I would ask is that if people out there, again, if anybody out there can find any facts of the things that I've said that are not true, I'm happy to look at that. But everything I've done with thorough research, and the only concern I have is to the taxpayers of the state and the fans in Tiger Stadium and the boys. And that's the other thing, too. The thing that's also been missing is there's a group of boys down there that have to put that uniform on, not next weekend, but the next, and play a very, very tough team. And I would love to see everybody rally around them.
So if you heard in the middle of that bite, we're done. He says this is his quote. Everything I've done with very thorough research. Really? Research on what? We don't know if there's any precedent for the state paying out the coach. We don't know if there was taxpayer funds used on the stadium. What are we researching? What thorough research did we do other than looking at the contract? And I've conceded the contract does say that. But we all understand in the sports world how that works. And so now you go to this morning's meeting where the understanding of this entire week's ongoing process is that we're concerned with the state being on the hook for the football coach's buyout. That is the biggest issue Governor Landry brought together. And in the press conference today, a Board of Supervisors member who Governor Landry appointed to the board, John Carmouche, said this about funding coaches' buyouts.
The governor had a right to be concerned, and we're working towards solutions. Everything's on the table. But let me make it clear. The state has never, and the taxpayers have never paid for a coach and never will. So
the state and the taxpayers have never paid for a coach and never will. Governor Landry is talking about this contract, which he's right about, but it's disingenuous. It's a disingenuous argument because the Board of Supervisors, which he helps appoint, and the board member, which he appointed, is telling you it's never going to happen. I'm not here telling you it's an impossibility. I'm telling you that we understand how the athletic department works. LSU has been hiring and firing coaches for a long time. The athletic director's job is to agree to a contract with the coach and make sure the funds are there to either continue to fund it or to pay the buyout. And it's always worked that way. And there's no reason to suggest it would not in this case. None. There's just not. This is being disingenuous and it's being political. And Governor Landry can point to that contract all he wants, and he will stand on that leg. But let's just live in the world that's actually, he's saying I live in Realville. Well, let's just live in Realville. The boosters pay these buyouts. They pay the NIL deals. They pay the coaches. They help fund the facilities. And the world goes round and round. This hire didn't work. But we don't have to blow everything up because you don't like what the contract says. And then we go one step further before we get to the conclusion here. Verge Alsbury was asked, because the thing that the governor has been saying, said it in the press conference, said it on McAfee, said it with Matt, we've got to change the structure of these contracts. We've got to make sure that they're paid for winning in the results. And we've got to do things very differently. That's what he says. That's what he's been harping on. These contracts, these agents are in collusion with the athletic directors. We've got to do things differently. That's what he says. And then the interim athletic director, which the Board of Supervisors, which he appoints, was put in front of the microphone today and was asked, hey, do we have to do some things differently with this contract? And here's what Verge Alsbury said.
I've spoken to the board members on side of me right here and other board members, and our job, I was told to get the best football coach there is. And don't worry about that at all. So my thing is we're going to go out there together as a team, and we get the best contract, get the best coach we have, and whatever it takes to get that person here, we will do.
When he said in the middle of that bite, we don't care about that at all, that's the contract. We don't care about the contract. And that tells me, and I'm reading between the lines here, that the boosters are ready to go get a coach. There will not be a drastic and significant change in terms of the contract for the next coach, because Verge is in charge of going to get the next coach. He's going to be in charge of getting that contract together. And it's not going to change. This all essentially boils down to one thing. The governor did not approve of Scott Woodward in that role, and he set out to make sure that Scott Woodward would not keep that job. And this is the way that he went about doing it. That's my opinion as a talk show host who has sat in this state and watched this happen. And guess what? The governor has the absolute right as an elected official. This state elected Jeff Landry. He can appoint whoever he wants to the Board of Supervisors. He was elected. And those board members can do whatever they want. Nothing here has been done illegally. No, there's no corruption here. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just suggesting that this whole show that has gone on for 3 days has been disingenuous, and the dots do not connect. The governor has not given ample evidence that there is abundance of state funds headed somewhere it's not supposed to go. He was asked some questions about state funds in other areas and didn't really have an answer, didn't want to answer. And this is the result of a direct contradiction to what he's saying in the press conference today. It's just not that hard to comb through. So LSU may end up in a much better space because of all this. I don't know the future. I can just look at what's gone on here, and it doesn't add up. This whole process doesn't add up. So Scott Woodward's not the athletic director anymore. That we know. And the governor keeps on beating on. And I'm pulling for him. I hope he does great things for the state of Louisiana. I hope the people that are hired at LSU moving forward are phenomenal. But I don't have to buy the last 72 hours. I don't have to buy that. I live in the sports world. I know how all this stuff works. And some of this stuff just doesn't add up. Let's come back and close it out the hour next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
So Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com is the website. Look, captives, the future of insurance, really the present of insurance. If you haven't looked at a captive and you are a business owner and you've got significant insurance premiums that you're paying, but you've got great loss history and great risk management, you might be a fit for a captive. If you haven't seen that, well, it'd be a great time to contact Jonathan Carver and the Highland Insurance Group to start looking at it, because it can be a complete game changer to your business's bottom line. It can be, but you've got to take a look at it. Not every broker is qualified to go ahead and get you in front of a captive and see if you're a fit for a captive. If yours hasn't shown you that, contact the Highland Insurance Group. They can do it for you. It's a completely different way of looking at your risk management and the expenses that go with that. So contact Jonathan, Highland Insurance Group. They're here in Baton Rouge. You can find them online at HighlandIG.com, HighlandIG.com.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Wrapping up hour number 1 here, Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp, of course, brings you our Friday shows. We are going to have a little bit of fun in the second hour. I'm going to pick SEC games against the spread. We'll talk Saints and Rams. Kind of get the heavy stuff behind us here. But tonight is a big night in Major League Baseball. 7 o'clock, Fox, Game 6. Toronto leads 3-2. They can clinch it tonight. They send their ace to the mound tonight, who we know very well in this neck of the woods. That is, of course, Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman's career has been amazing to watch because it started out very, very bumpy. He was called up by the Orioles, who made him a top 10 pick coming out of LSU. And he was 3-5 in that first year, had an ERA north of 5.5. The next year, 7-7 with a 3.57, which was pretty good. He threw 113 innings and struck out 88. Like, he was okay. 4-7 the next year with an ERA well up over 4 again. Then his next 3 years, 9-12, 11-12, and 10-11. And I'm not here to suggest that, like, win-loss is a telling stat about pitchers. It's very antiquated and doesn't tell the story at all. But his ERA throughout that period was north of 4 most of the time. It was 4.25, 4.68, 4.43. Then in 2019, it was a 5.72 when he was 3-9. Like, he was 6 years in at that point and just hadn't really cracked the code in Major League Baseball. He threw hard. He was a talented guy. He was a first-round pick. Teams were going to give him a chance, and he got one, obviously, with Baltimore drafted him. Got one with Atlanta as well. Cincinnati took him for a brief period of time, and he didn't pitch there there in 15 games. But then he developed a splitter, and it transformed his entire career. And it's been amazing to watch him because that's not a pitch he had when he was at LSU. He was a fastball, kind of slurvy breaking ball guy who could get by on velocity as a dominant power pitcher in college. But he didn't make this, like, transformation until he was 29 years old. And if you look at from 2021 on, in 2021 with the Giants, he was 14-6 with a 2.81 ERA. The following year in Toronto, he led Major League Baseball in fielding independent pitching, and then he led Major League Baseball also in strikeout to walk ratio at 7-1. That year, in 174 innings, he struck out 205. The next year, at 32 years old, Kevin Gausman led the league in strikeouts, 237. And at 34, he's still the ace of that staff with an ERA at about 3.5. And he's the ace of the team that is knocking on the door of the World Series. And he gets the baseball tonight against a team that is absolutely loaded, that he threw the ball so well against. Now, nobody that's listening to me even knows he threw the ball well on Saturday, because while he was setting down 17 Dodgers in a row, it got bumpy after that. They hit the ball out of the ballpark a little bit. I get it. It wasn't perfect. But he set down 17 in a row at one point while A&M was beating the brakes off of LSU. So that was Saturday night. If you're a Tiger fan and you get back from trick-or-treating tonight, or you're looking to watch something while the kids are coming by and you're handing out candy, Kevin Gausman has a chance to clinch the World Series. I talked to Kevin at Ronnie Rance's at his charity event back in January, and I said, "How you feeling?" I covered Kevin at LSU. I was on the LSU beat for baseball in 2010, 11, 12, 13, and obviously he finished his time at LSU in 2012. The Stony Brook Super Regional was sadly his last start, and it was an amazing day when he came in game 1 and closed it, and then came back and started game 2 against Stony Brook, and it rained and he couldn't throw a breaking ball and they hit the ball out of the ballpark. But I was on the beat, and so I interviewed Kevin twice a week at that point, and so he recognized me, which shocked me. But we chatted for a bit. He said he felt old, and on the baseball card, he's old. 34 years is old, but he's still throwing it awesome. He threw a shutout this year, won 10 games, and has a chance to do something really special tonight. Kevin still makes his home here in Baton Rouge, and I'm sure we'll be back when this thing wraps up. But he's pitched this thing all the way to the end, and I'm really pulling for him tonight because it's a huge opportunity against a team that features an MVP in Mookie Betts, an MVP in Freddie Freeman, the best player to ever play baseball in Shohei Ohtani. We'll see if they ask him to pitch to Ohtani or just walk him, like the Blue Jays have kind of decided to do. But you've also got Kike Hernandez and Teoscar Hernandez. It's just just an absolutely ridiculous team the Dodgers are fielding, but a chance for another LSU guy to kind of make a splash. We talked about how great the LSU brand has been, both on the collegiate ranks and in the professional ranks over the last 6 years. And, Gosman was not famous at LSU because LSU didn't go to Omaha while he was here. He's like one of the few guys you can point to that was great at LSU, was a highly talented recruit, came in at LSU and then didn't play in Omaha. But he didn't because he's only here for 2 years. First year LSU missed the postseason altogether. In the second year, Stony Brook got him. But he's an LSU guy, loves LSU, married a girl from LSU, and I'll be pulling for him big time tonight up there in Toronto. Hopefully he can throw it really good. He's going to be posed by a stud. And the Dodgers have Yamamoto ready to go. His ERA in the postseason is 1.57. So Kevin's going to have to throw it good. But good news is his postseason ERA is 2.55, so he's been awesome as well. We'll see how long he goes. These two teams have let their starters go a little bit longer than most, but hopefully Kevin gets it done tonight in Game 6. That's it for hour number 1. If you missed any of it, it was fast-moving. There's a lot going on. You can check that out on demand wherever you find your sound. That's at Hunt Palmer Show or on Twitter. At Twitter, I'm just looking at my Twitter and I'm flustered after the week that's been, and there's only 1 hour left to go. You can find it at Hunt on LSU or Hunt on Saints. Speaking of the Saints, we are going to talk Saints in the next segment. We'll pick the Saints and the Rams. My SEC picks against the spread coming up a little bit later as well. So don't go anywhere. We will pause for national headlines for Sports Center. We come back, the final hour of Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Look, it can be something simple like a tub-to-shower conversion in the bathroom, or it can be a full-scale bathroom renovation. David Duvall and his team do it all the time. A lot of folks have that stand-in shower. They got that big jacuzzi. You take that jacuzzi out, make that stand-in shower a closet, and then where that jacuzzi was, you put that gorgeous glass walk-in shower, completely transform your bathroom. Need somebody to handle the floors? David Duvall and his team can do it. Need somebody to handle the vanity with the mirrors and all that goes into that? David Duvall and his team can do it. Soup to nuts, as David said. They can handle it from start to finish and customize it to exactly your specifications. Reach out and chat with them. That doesn't cost a cent. They'll tell you what they can do. They'll tell you what it costs. And if you're looking for financing, they've got it 0% up to 18 months if you qualify. It's One Bath and Closets. You can find them online. It's at OneBathAndClosets.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport.
That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Ed Benkin. The Toronto Blue Jays have the chance to win their first World Series in 32 years tonight. They will play host to the Dodgers in Game 6 of the Fall Classic, with Toronto leading 3-2. Blue Jays manager John Schneider was asked if this has felt like one long season or multiple years of the long run the Blue Jays have had.
One, to be honest with you. I think that whenever you start a spring training, this is kind of where you want to end up. Doesn't always happen, so you have to appreciate it. But, yeah, man, this is the story of the 2025 Blue Jays.
The game can be heard on ESPN Radio. We will have coverage from Canada beginning at 7 Eastern. To football, and a change in the front office of Miami. After losing to the Ravens last night, the Dolphins parted ways with general manager Chris Greer. Sources have told ESPN's Adam Schefter that Coach Mike McDaniel will stay on as head coach through the remainder of the season. Jacksonville receiver and cornerback Travis Hunter will be placed on injured reserve after suffering a non-contact knee injury on practice on Thursday. The Ravens have been fined $100,000 by the NFL for violating the league's injury report policy. The league says Baltimore incorrectly listed Lamar Jackson's practice status last week, and that is the result of the fine.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane's studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Halloween edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Glad you're hanging out with us. Hopefully that work week is in the rearview mirror. If it's not, we will get to the finish line here on 104.5. No LSU football this weekend. There will be Saints football, and we're talking about it. And quite frankly, it's surprising that the Saints have made the move that we've all been looking forward to. And we haven't even really talked about it that much because there's so much going on in South Louisiana. But we've got to talk about the Saints and the Rams on Sunday. And what you hope is the start of a new era at quarterback in the black and gold. Tyler Shuck going to get his first start as an NFL player, the highest drafted Saints quarterback in 5 decades, 40th overall pick in the second round. And it is now his time. We talked a little bit earlier in the week about how difficult a matchup this is. You're talking about a Rams defense that has got back-to-back games with 4 or more sacks. If they get another one of those, it'll be the longest streak with 4 or more sacks since Sean McVay took over in 2017. And I would suggest there's a decent chance that happens because the Saints, in terms of their pass blocking win rate, are right there at the bottom of the NFL. So Tyler Shuck's got to be prepared for that. This is one of those situations where you kind of know what you're getting into before the game. It's not a situation where you're surprised by something. Kellen Moore, Doug Nussmeier, and that group in the coaching staff is well aware that it's going to be a challenge down in and down out for this Saints team to block the Rams, okay? So you've got to make things easy on your offensive line and on your quarterback every chance you get. And that just really comes down to one thing. This is such a boring and tired trope. Like, I don't have another way to say this. If the Saints cannot run the football on Sunday, Katie bar the door, because this thing is going to get out of hand in a hurry. Because if they are constantly dropping back to pass and constantly in third and longs, this offensive front against that defensive front has no shot. And we know from Tyler Shuck's time at Louisville, looking at the highlights, looking at the lowlights, understanding what you get in him, he will make some very bad decisions under pressure at times. He's a good athlete. He's got a big arm. He's mature. He's thrown for a lot of yards. He's played a lot of football. He's not 21. But he makes some wild throws under pressure. In the NFL, that is a no-no. In college, you can get away with it at times. Defenses are slower. DBs are often confused. They don't catch it all that well. The NFL, that's going to be a nightmare. So you have to understand this going into this game. You're dealing with a defensive front that is hellacious. Jared Verse is going to be a nightmare. And so you got to run the ball. You've got to get the ball to Alvin Kamara. You've got to get the ball to Devin Neal. And you've got to let these offensive linemen fire off the ball. And you've got to let Tyler Shuck get comfortable. This is one of those spots where you're playing against a really good defense, one of the best in the NFL. You're playing against a veteran quarterback who, oh, by the way, is really hot. You're talking about a guy who before the bye week had chucked up 25-plus fantasy points because he's throwing for 3 touchdowns and no picks time and time again. And your Saints defense has allowed 14 touchdown passes. That's 6th most in the NFL. It's a bad matchup everywhere. So this one could get out of hand, and that's not a comfortable spot for Tyler Shuck to be in. You need to run the ball, you need to bleed the clock a little bit, and you need to keep things in front of Tyler Shuck. Now, he needs to go into this game with a couple things in mind. One, get it out quick. Get it out quick. That first read needs to be there. If it's not, don't force something. Sack's not going to kill you too often. Not going to kill you. It's going to hurt, probably. Not going to kill you. So a sack is better than some ill-advised play. And this is my fear with Shuck. Like, it's not a fear of, like, can he make that throw? It's not a fear of, like, is the moment too big? It's a fear of wild, overly aggressive, ill-advised plays. I think he's going to do some good things in this game. But I think he's going to have some adverse circumstances. And that's why I would not have put him out there. But you've got to lean on that running game. And I almost said something I didn't want to say. What these pass catchers, Juwan Johnson, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, you have to come to play. You have to come to play. Because if those guys give you the effort they've given you for the last 3 weeks, Shuck's got almost no chance there. You've got to catch the ball. You've got to get open. Break a tackle here or there. The receivers have been a net negative the last 3 weeks. They got to be a net positive. Flip it to the defense, which is the less intriguing part of this. But the defense did put up a fight last week. Like, the offense gave him no help, and that's why Rattler had to be benched and Shuck had to come in. But the defense put up a fight. The Bucs are pretty good. I know they're down their top 2 wide receivers. But Chase Young looks great. That needs to continue. He was a problem from Tristan Wirfs last week. That needs to continue. And then we'll see what these young DBs have against Puka Nacua, against Devontae Adams. Like, you ready to go? We'll see if they are. But this matchup is not a positive one. It's not an advantageous spot to put your young quarterback in. And I think it's going to get a little ugly in SoFi on Sunday. That doesn't disqualify the rest of the Tyler Shuck era. It does not. You got a chance to come back, go to Carolina, come back, get a bye, and then maybe settle things down. But I think it gets a little hairy. I've got this one 34-10. I've got the Rams kind of running away from the Saints. It's just hard for me to take a look at the entirety of this matchup and find the spot where I really like the Saints. Like, what matchup on the field? Is it just Chase Young because of the way that he's played? Maybe, but that's probably not enough. And Sean McVay knows that, and Matt Stafford certainly knows that. So This is not my favorite spot on the schedule for New Orleans. I have nightmares when I think about previewing this game about what you heard from the LSU beat against the Rams in that practice in August. That was apparently just a mess from start to finish for the Saints offense. I think you see a little bit of that on Sunday. So give me the Rams by I guess that would be, call it 4 scores. Call it 4 scores based on the fact that we're not going to go for 2-3 times. So 4 scores. I like the Rams big on Sunday. Jordan, you mentioned it might be a nap game for you. Have you changed that over the last 24 hours? Or are you still just, I mean, you got to be kind of excited to watch Shuck. A little bit?
Well, since I heard your score, so I had to go look at the line real quick, and this Rams by 14 straight up.
Yes.
Yikes. And it's the pros, too, so that's double yikes.
You never see 2 touchdown spreads in the
That's a
NFL.
double yikes. I had to go make sure. I'm like, you said 4 scores? Oh, yeah, that's nasty. This could be a nap game. I would say I'm not excited in a sense because it's rare. He doesn't really bring anything where I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to see this rookie. I know this is a far cry, but I remember when the Browns had Baker Mayfield at the first overall pick, and he didn't start coming out in that Tyrod Taylor. I know this is the number 1 pick compared to the 40th pick, but just that juice that Cleveland had when Baker got in the game and when they were just itching for it, I don't really feel the fan base is itching for Tyler Shuck, and that's not his fault.
It's because he's the 40th pick and not the first.
You know,
and he didn't win a Heisman.
Yeah, but also it's not his fault that he's going to be thrown into this situation that's kind of unwinnable. Like, I don't want to see people, write him off already if he has a bad game or a bad showing against this Rams ferocious front. This
I don't think anybody's in that headspace right now.
Well, I've seen these fans.
Trust me, I know. It's a bit
I'm
of a
about to say, I'm like, they're not the smartest people. So it's like, I just don't want that to happen to where this could be a bad game. Or, flip of the coin. He comes out here and I don't know. He just comes out here and just shows something that we ain't see. But if you had to ask me, I don't see the Saints really. I think it will be competitive for like the first quarter. First quarter, we'll see how they come in the second quarter. But
I don't see it much. I would suggest this is the worst matchup on the schedule. There's 17 games. This is the worst one.
Most definitely.
So you just hold your nose, jump in the pool, and 3 hours later you'll come out. We'll see.
I will say this though. I'm not going into it just negative. Right?
No, it's just it's a free swing.
Yeah, my mind is open to it. So I'm not coming in here like, I just think, but I just don't expect them to win. I'll say that.
No, free swing. We'll see. Saints and Rams just after 3 o'clock Central Time out from SoFi in L.A. Our Friday show is brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Get those platters. Get those big trays for your tailgates. Crispy fried catfish, jumbo Gulf shrimp, shoestring fries, honey butter rolls, beignet bites, all the sauces your heart desires. So that's the cocktail tartar. I love the Cork sauce as well. They're happy to feed in bulk. So if you've got a crew that's coming over to trick or treat tonight, you're going to watch some football this weekend, maybe the Saints. Maybe you got a tailgate coming up in a few weeks when LSU hosts Arkansas. Give Corks a try. They're happy to feed you in bulk. They can also feed your office. If you do a Friday lunch or something, they are happy to help with that. The menu's online at corksfishandshrimp.com, and they bring you our Friday shows each and every week. Come back. I got to pick some SEC games against the spread. Let's do it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Need security services you can count on? With Veteran Security Services, you're always protected. Locally owned and proudly serving the Gulf Coast, they're not some big national firm chasing profits. They're neighbors protecting neighbors. From petrochemical plants and healthcare facilities to port and maritime operations, Veteran Security delivers reliable protection you can trust. Choose community. Choose confidence. Choose Veteran Security Services. Visit veteransecurityfirm.com.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
All right, Jordan. We were humble entering our picks segment last week. We understood that our fate was essentially sealed. You're sitting there at 26 wins and 40 losses.
Yeah,
that's hard to respond to. So we just like, we're just going to put our head down and finish the season. Not unlike LSU. Like your goals are done. You're not going to be a 500 team, but you just got to put your head down and finish the season.
Yeah.
And we came up with a 4-2 week last week.
I'm about to say, once you told me that, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my goodness.
4-2. So we got a season-long total of 30 wins and 42 losses. Is that good? It is not. It's terrible, actually. It's very bad. 13 games under 500.
But, you could. I mean,
the
if you
interim
hit
bump.
on this week, yeah, I'm about to say, if you hit this week, you might be back in the game.
You change your approach. You take a deep breath. You resign to your fate, and then maybe you see things a little bit more clearly.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got this week in the SEC. All right, 11 o'clock. ABC number 9 Vanderbilt is at number 20 Texas. The Longhorns, a 3.5-point favorite in this game. Now, Texas has the number 3 overall run defense in the country. They are second in the nation in yards per carry allowed. We know Vanderbilt wants to run the ball. They're third in the country in yards per carry on offense. So can Vanderbilt impose its will on Texas' really good run defense? Now, on the other side, Vandy, 9th in the SEC in yards per play allowed. That's not that great, but they don't play a lot of plays, so they don't give up a lot of points. That's Vanderbilt's style. I just think Vanderbilt's a little bit better than Texas. It's wild to say. But as a team, I think they're better. Their quarterback is better, and I think they're a better team. I'm catching 3.5 points. I'll take the points. I'll take Vanderbilt at 11 o'clock on ABC. 2:30 ABC, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, Georgia and Florida. Georgia, 7.5-point favorite. I think it's a good spot for Florida. They let go of Billy Napier coming off the bye week. Georgia's off a bye as well. Look at the defense for Georgia. They gave up 35 points to Ole Miss and 41 points to Tennessee. That's not characteristic. However, against the bad offenses they've played, Kentucky only scored 14. Auburn only scored 10. This is not unlike LSU, where you played some really good offenses. They score on you. You play some bad offenses. You can shut them down. Florida is a bad offense. I have seen it. I will take Georgia. I will lay the 7.5 points. I don't think Florida scores a lot of points in this game, so I don't think they're very good on offense. So we'll see. All right, 3 o'clock, SEC Network. Mississippi State at Arkansas. The Hogs are 4.5-point favorite. Who in the heck knows what's going to happen in this game? I'll tell you this, Mississippi State's lost 16 straight league games, and Arkansas has lost 7 straight league games since they beat Mississippi State. So, both offenses move the ball. I think that they're both going to move the ball in this game. Arkansas is more explosive. Mississippi State has been good enough against bad defenses. Arkansas is certainly a bad defense. It is in Fayetteville. I just think 4.5 is a lot of points with two teams that I think are going to move the ball. So I'll take Mississippi State, and I will take the 4.5 points on the Hill in Northwest Arkansas. 6 o'clock, ESPN, South Carolina at Ole Miss. The Rebels 11.5-point favorite. Lane gets a night game, everybody. Lane always complains he never gets a night game. He gets a night game here. Ole Miss's run defense is bad. We know this. But only LSU runs the ball worse than South Carolina in the SEC. South Carolina cannot take advantage of Ole Miss's weakness because they can't run the ball. Because of that, I will lay the points with Ole Miss. They're going to score. They score on everybody. They went to Norman, Oklahoma, played a good defense last week. They scored. Played LSU. We thought they had a good defense. They score. They will score on South Carolina, and South Carolina's not going to score that much on Ole Miss. Give me the Rebels minus 11.5. 6:30 on ABC, primetime game. Oklahoma headed to Knoxville to play Josh Heupel's Vols. Of course, Heupel, national championship winner there at Oklahoma. Tennessee's a 2.5-point favorite in this game. The Vols allow the most passing yards in the SEC. John Mateer, after the injury when he came back against Texas, he's been okay the last 2 weeks. 35 of 57, 373 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I think Oklahoma will throw the ball a little bit on Tennessee in this game. And I think Oklahoma might go to Knoxville and win this game. It would be a mild upset, but I'm not ruling it out. I'll take the 2.5 points with Oklahoma in Knoxville against the Vols. Give me the Sooners. And then the last one, 6:30, SEC Network. Kentucky's at Auburn. These teams stink. No doubt about it. 10.5 is the line. Auburn's favored. They got a new quarterback. I believe Mark Stoops will be out of a job by lunchtime on Sunday. Give me Auburn to cover. They're awful, but I'll take them to cover. New quarterback, new lease on life, and Kentucky fans do not care. It'll be at Jordan Hare. Give me Auburn minus the 10.5. Those are my picks. I got Vanderbilt plus 3.5 in Austin. I've got Georgia minus 7.5 in Jacksonville. I've got Mississippi State catching 4.5 on the Hill in Arkansas. I've got Ole Miss laying an 11.5 against South Carolina. I have got the Oklahoma Sooners catching 2.5 in Knoxville, and I will take the Auburn Tigers and lay the 10.5 against Kentucky. That is my story.
I'm confident in this one. I'm very confident in this one this week, especially because I kind of think you're in a position where this is a can't lose. Like, you got to win this week. You have to win this week if you want to turn your season
Jordan,
around.
let me tell you something. I can always lose. This is why I never wager a cent on these games, because I'm well aware that I'm terrible at picking them, and I'm not going to outsmart Vegas. So
Vegas
I'm not going to
know.
bet on. I enter an SEC pick'em every year.
Yeah.
Play the entry fee in August, and then that's my gambling for the year. Bet against like 30 guys. Never won it, not surprisingly.
Yeah.
Well, but I've had twice this week. It's like 30 guys. Twice this year, I've had the most wins of the week.
No, but look, like
Get
I
a
said,
little $40 coming back to me. We like that.
Gas money, or Caniac money right there.
Yep.
But look, I do like the Vanderbilt pick. I like the Vanderbilt pick, and also like
that's
the
a
Mississippi
weird
State.
line. I guess the thought is that Vandy can't run on Texas, and if they can't run on Texas, then they're going to have some trouble. But I just don't trust Texas to score on anybody.
Also, Arch Manning is a game time decision. So it's not even confirmed that he's going to play or not. But is it really that much of a bump?
This is a bet on Texas's defense at home.
Yeah.
That's what this is. And look, Texas wins this game. They're in the playoff picture. They only have 2 losses.
Yeah, especially with Vandy. Vandy's top 10 too, so that would be a good for the resume. I also like that Mississippi State game just because how is Arkansas a favorite? Do not know. I guess they're at home too.
These teams stink. They hadn't won a game in decades.
But the one that I'm a little iffy about is the Oklahoma-Tennessee game.
Yeah.
You're taking Oklahoma, right?
I get points.
You are, but Jimmy today's taking Tennessee, so I'm conflicted right here. I don't know who should I fade. Should I fade you? Should I fade the Oddfather? I don't know.
I think I have an idea on that. I think I have an idea on who I would trust on that.
You know that's
and either way, even if Jimmy picks the wrong side, he'll in-game hedge it. Get his cash.
No, Jimmy's gonna find some type of game to get back right. So you going this way, he's going that way. I'm like a kid, mom and dad fighting. I don't know what to do.
We need to get a YouTuber. We need to get one of our video producers to go to Jimmy's house or go to the Queen and video him on a college football Saturday and have him explain every move he makes. That's a string.
That would be good content, but I don't know how much will be safe for work. With
it's
Jimmy.
YouTube, baby.
You're right. You can put anything on YouTube.
Anything can go on YouTube.
You can put anything on YouTube.
No FCC violation on YouTube. You just do what you got to do.
What would you name the series, though?
Otterlocks.
Yes. Otterlocks. But I think, Hunt, honestly, I like your picks this week. Like, not even just saying that to say that. I do like your picks. Because a lot of those I would have went with. It's just that Tennessee Oklahoma game. I don't know.
Look, it's probably a bad pick, but I think that my bad picks are better than my good picks. So that's kind of where we are.
You did say the same thing last week. You weren't confident in that one, and you were way better.
6 games on the docket this week that I've picked. We'll see if we can throw another 4 and 2 at them.
We're gonna see Monday.
All right. That's it for SEC games for tomorrow. Got a couple segments left. We're going to do some take it or leave it here at the end of the show. When we come back, let's switch gears back to LSU football. We'll do that next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Every car that's on the lot is online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com. When you're driving around, just notice you're starting to see more Genesis because the word's out. Like, it's an incredible brand. It's an incredible group of people that are here. The line of vehicles is phenomenal. It's a luxury brand at a reasonable price. And when folks go buy Genesis at Airline and PQ and they get behind the wheel, they make that purchase. So start your buying process online at GenesisBatonRouge.com. If you don't have time to go to the dealership, it's a little bit out of your way, they'll come to you. You want to test drive, they'll come to you. You want to test drive at the office, they'll come to you. And if you want to make that purchase and don't want to go to the dealership at that point, they'll come to you then too. They'll deliver that vehicle, e-contracts. You never have to set foot on the lot. It's all about convenience. It's all about comfort over there at Genesis of Baton Rouge. Go by and see Airline at PQ online, GenesisofBatonRouge.com, GenesisofBatonRouge.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital.
You're listening to The Hun Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday shows brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Between Foster and Jefferson on Government. If you're looking for a po' boy, just have a hankering for a po' boy here in the capital city, Corks can help you out with that. An awesome jumbo Gulf shrimp stuffed po' boy, fully dressed. Nothing can beat that. Got a hankering for it. Get on by Corks and see him. Jordan, best Halloween costume you ever wore?
1 year as a child, I was.
I like that you were very quick with this. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I was the Red Power Ranger. I remember that. That was a pretty good one. I can't tell you which Power Ranger series it was, but I was a Red Power Ranger 1 year. Spider-Man, but that's just cliche. But definitely the Red Power Ranger, because I had like the little. It was like a little interactive.
Big on red colored superheroes. I see.
I don't even know. I'm trying to think, bro, because I don't even remember like picking the costume. I think my mom would get the. Oh no, we used to go to Party City. I don't know if they still make. I don't still think. Yeah,
we used to do that in college when we'd have a party and go pick up one of the stupid like pre-made ones.
Yeah.
Look, this is how boring and pitiful I am. In college, I used to pick Halloween costumes based on like the functionality of the pants, because I knew I was going to go to a bar and I needed my wallet and like key and stuff. Like I needed to have. So I was like a sailor one time because I could just wear like navy pants with a stupid white shirt. Like not even trying to be fun and creative. Like I know I'm going out. I'm gonna need to keep my belongings, and I can't be going. It's like some inflatable pumpkin or something where I can't fit through doors and whatever. So that was my main thought. But my best costume ever. Yes. I won a costume contest when I was little. I was Popeye.
Okay.
And I had like bandages that we wrapped around my forearms to like make them bigger. We put the deal around. I had the corncob pipe. Had the whole deal. Had a can of spinach. Yes. The sailor hat. Was crushing. I used to love Popeye when I was little.
My Halloween kind of got ruined. So 1 year in high school, Purge came out, and me and my friends decided to ride around in this rich neighborhood blasting the Purge music with masks on, scaring everybody. And just know the cops were called. So that wasn't really.
Nice job.
Yeah, you're not really thinking too much when you're 16, 17.
Yeah.
You're just doing stupid stuff.
Making dumb decisions. Yeah. I talked about the LSU student section earlier this week. There was a guy in the neighborhood that I grew up in. They had a ton of Halloween decorations, and he got the chainsaw out one time.
Oh yeah.
And I was pretty young, and I saw him crank that thing. I don't think it had a.
It didn't have anything on it. Yeah.
And I just took off running. I was probably like 6 or something, and I just hightailed it to my house. I was like, this is not where I want to be. That's legitimate scared stuff there.
Those I miss, but I really miss it'd be like a certain house in the neighborhood that would do like the haunted house, like the scary house, and you know it's not too much, but still just the thought and how scary that was. I missed that, like actually being genuinely scared going to a haunted house.
Yeah, those were the days. We'll see how trick-or-treating goes for the Palmers. Myers man is going LSU football uniform today. Keller, who is not one, is going to be a football. I'm going to wear my radio outfit that's team issued from my radio stuff that I do and put a hat on, and I got headphones, and I'll be a coach.
Okay.
And then Alyssa, my wife's got a Nuss Bus shirt that she's going to wear. We're going to calling him Garrett Nuss Myers because his name's Myers. So we're calling him Nuss Myers.
Whoa. So if you're going to be a coach, you got to have like the play call sheet? What's going on? You got to add a little bit more,
I'm not putting that much thought into it.
Oh, you got to get a play call sheet or something.
I considered rocking the boat and like putting fake money in a pocket for like a buyout or something. That's just too much. We're just gonna
full BK. You're going full BK?
We're just gonna let it be and just be a little bit more low maintenance. We're not trying to rock the boat here. Speaking of LSU football, I'm gonna kind of reset what I did at the top of the show here. For those that have been working and hadn't been locked into what's going on all day, LSU made some things very, very clear earlier today in that press conference that featured Verge Osbury, who is now the interim athletic director, and you also heard from a pair of board members, including the chairman of the board of supervisors. And what the message from that press conference was this: that Verge is in complete control of the football coaching search. He's put together a committee that involves those two Board of Supervisors members, Scott Ballard and John Carmouche, that involves Ben Bordelon, who is the CEO of Bollinger Shipyard and played at LSU. His two sons are on the team right now. It includes E.J. Kuiper, who is president and CEO of Our Lady of the Lake. And there's one more member of that board that will be appointed soon. We didn't get a name there. But that's the group that's going to get a coach. And Verge Osbury was very adamant that this is not going to be a search that's compromised by the fact that there's no permanent athletic director, not going to be a search that's compromised by the governor's comments on contractual language in coaches' contracts, that he has been tasked with going out to get the best football coach he can possibly get, and he'll be the point man on that search. There is going to be a new president on Tuesday. That president is going to have some say in this. That president is going to have some say in who LSU's next athletic director is. And the point I made at the top of the show is that creates uncertainty. It's not a problem right now. It just depends on who you're talking to and what their priorities are. But as I mentioned at the top of the show, when you take a job, you like to know who you report to. And it's comforting when the person you report to hired you. What did we see here in Baton Rouge when Scott Woodward took over? The football coach that he did not hire did not last very long. The basketball coach that he did not hire did not last very long. Now, you can have your quibbles or your agreements with either of those circumstances. I don't care your opinion on that. You are more than welcome to it, and I have mine on them. But that point remains that you're not as committed to a coach if you didn't hire him. That's just human nature. When you pick the coach, you're more committed to him. So assuming that Verge Osbury is not the athletics director, and that's just an assumption, he very well could be. But if he's not the athletic director and he does hire the coach, the athletic director you bring in might and could get the itch to put his stamp on the program. Now, you've got guardrails there. You've got boosters, and you've got a president that will be in place, and there will be discussions about that. But the issue here is that LSU doesn't have that structure in place right now. It will, but it doesn't right now. And that gives people pause. That creates uncomfortableness, for lack of a better term, or a real one. And it's something LSU's going to have to navigate. This is my point at the top of the show. I realize that there are probably some that have been listening for an hour and 38 minutes, but most of you probably have not been. LSU, a year and a half ago, had a governor, president, athletic director, and coach that all fell in line. And now that structure is no longer there. And the structure is going to be different. And that doesn't mean better or worse. It just means different. And I think the anxious feeling I have about it is shared by a lot of people. It's going to be so fascinating to see what the result of this coaching search looks like. Because we will look back on this week that I'm putting a bow on here for a long, long, long time. Because the decisions that were made this week have years worth of impact in them. I mean, it's a big deal. Changing athletic directors is a big deal. It's not just a big deal for football. Now, you're going to have an athletic director that didn't hire any of these coaches that are on campus either. Scott Woodward hired Kim Mulkey. He hired Jay Johnson. He hired Jay Clark. He hired these golf coaches. He hired these tennis coaches. And I realize that I get to a point where a lot of you are like, well, what do I care? That's fine. Like I'm just making the point that there were a lot of people in that athletic department that were comfortable with Scott as the boss. And when the boss isn't there, things change. The dynamic changes. So it's not just football. Other sports could be impacted. You got to take that into consideration now moving forward with the evaluation of every single program and the decision-making of every single coach. And as I said at the top of the show, it's very, very possible that LSU puts a great athletic director in place, Verge Osbury or anybody else. Very possible that LSU hires a great coach. But there are a lot of moving pieces in that athletic department now because of the chain of events that started on Saturday, went into Sunday, and then came to a head on Thursday night. And there are a lot of people on the outside that are looking at LSU like, that doesn't look great. That doesn't look great. Ross Dellinger's writing a piece about a little bit of dysfunction as he sees it, and he's talking about how he's getting texts from a lot of people around the country. And so what I want to kind of finish this with is you may be a Louisiana native, an LSU grad, LSU fan who is so happy about what happened this week. You're thrilled that Brian Kelly was fired and is no longer here. You're thrilled that Scott Woodward was basically fired and is no longer here. You're thrilled that the governor that you helped elect is putting things in place the way he wants to do it. That there are plenty of people that feel that way. And that's great. But you also have to take a look at those on the outside and see what they're seeing because the hiring pool is out there. And we can't know what everybody thinks. The agents, the coaches, people in this ecosystem that is collegiate athletics, we can't know what they think. And I think it's going to have an impact on the search. It may be something Verge can explain away, but the fact of the matter is that when you have those conversations with prospective coaches and they ask, who's my boss going to be, and you can't answer, that is a tough conversation to cover up. It just is. It doesn't prohibit you from hiring a good coach, but it's a variable that doesn't exist in every coaching search. So it's a challenge that Verge Osbury's got, that the new president that comes to the podium on Tuesday has got, and it's going to be really fascinating. I can't sit here and give you what I think the situation is going to be because LSU's football coaching hire took a big turn in the last 72 hours. There's no two ways about it. So we'll see how it all shakes out. It's an unprecedented time for me covering this and really paying attention to see a school that I cover, that I attended, that I love, that does not have a sitting president, does not have a sitting athletic director, and does not have a sitting head football coach. Wild stuff in Baton Rouge. They'll start to knock those dominoes down one at a time, and I think it starts on Tuesday. All right, that's just about it. We'll come back and close things down with a Friday edition Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
You're listening to The Hun Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
You know what we're going to do next week? We're going to talk about LSU and Alabama playing football. And I can't promise that that's going to put me in a super chipper mood either, but it beats the heck out of this. I'm just not cut out for the politics game. It's been a long week of just straight politics. I don't like it. I don't approve of it. And again, I said this in the third segment of the show. There's absolutely zero evidence that this is not going to work out great for LSU. There's no evidence that says it's going to work out great either. We don't know. But I personally, as someone who covers this and is paying it, I like talking about sports. I don't like getting into contractual semantics and he said, she says, and hypotheticals and all that, which is really what a lot of this week has been. I said it yesterday. It's been a disappointing week to me to watch the way things have been handled. I don't think it's looked good from the outside, but my hope, as I've said, is that there's a plan here and it all works out. That's my hope, because ultimately my allegiance is to the purple and gold. Like, that's where my heart is, and that's what I like to pay attention to, and that's what I like to do, and there's a reason I chose this for a living. And so I've never at any point suggested this week that the school's in massive trouble, or that there's something that LSU can't recover from, or the results, or that they can't hire a good football coach. Like, I've never said any of that. I just wish things were handled a little bit differently, and that starts back on Wednesday. That's how I wish, but that's not the state that I live in. It's not the university that I love. Politics are always involved, and I'm confident that I don't have every single detail, but I feel very confident and comfortable with the stances that I've taken this week. And we'll just have to see how things work out. That's something we just can't know. And I think everybody is maybe anxious, maybe excited with how things will go. And there's always some hope that comes with a new head coach in football. And that day is coming in the next 6-8 weeks. We'll see just what that situation is. But I'm going to leave it in the rearview mirror for now. We got trick-or-treating coming up, and the only order of business left on this show is take it or leave it. So let's rock and roll.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Just 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, all the flavor you're looking for from a delicious beer, and everything you're looking for from a light beer as well. If you're a light beer drinker and have never given Yingling Flight a look, highly recommend you do so. Maybe tonight as the kiddos are trick-or-treating. It's Flight by Yingling, next generation of light beer.
All right, so for today's Take It or Leave It is very Halloween theme, obviously. So I'm going to start it off with candy corn, take it or leave it.
I'm going to take it. I like candy corn. Candy corn's fine. It's not the best.
Okay.
It's edible. I mean, am I going to go eat a bunch of it? No. Is it good for a nice sweet bite? I'll take it for sure.
Man, I'll tell you this. The houses that will give candy corn, I was never coming back next year. Like
Cassie looked repulsed over there by the candy corn thoughts.
It's like you're just eating wax.
Literally.
It's so bad.
It's like a
It's fine. It's sugar. Sugar's good, generally.
And no, there's better sugar candies. Oh, speaking of better sugar candies, Butterfingers, take it or leave it. No way you about to do this.
I'll take it.
Okay.
It's not. It's way down the line.
Okay.
It's way down the line. It's like, it's got to be, on the candy bar side, it's got to be 10th. Maybe 14th.
Whoa, 10th?
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
You know, it's not prestige like a Snickers or a Twix or nothing, but 10?
It's probably 10.
Oh my goodness. But candy corn?
Like Payday is better than Butterfinger.
Hold on, Hunt.
The peanut butter, the peanuts, the sweet and salty, you got to love it.
No, look, I just want on the record, I am not Mr. Butterfingers, but a good Butterfingers every now and then. It's like it's an occasional Butterfinger.
I haven't had a Butterfinger since George W. Bush was in office. I think that's the last time I had a Butterfinger.
You know,
it may have been before that.
It's been a minute since I had one too, so I can't.
Might have been a
much.
Clinton situation.
Oh Lord, that's too far. That's too far. Okay, Sweet Tarts, take it or leave it.
Leave that. That's trash.
Oh no.
Sweet Tarts are trash. I can't even. It's like it's in the back of your mouth. You can't even move your face. Gross. You like Sweet Tarts?
I love Sweet Tarts. I love. I got some Jolly Ranchers gummies over here. Do you like Jolly Ranchers? Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I like Jolly Ranchers.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have any use for hard candy that takes 10 minutes to eat at this point in my life. That's more of a thing for my youth. Okay. But Sweet Tarts, that's disgusting.
Oh.
Like powdery sweet. Tart. You're gross.
Oh man.
Awful.
Oh okay.
By the way, aptly named, because I just accidentally used the adjective sweet and tart in my description of it. So well named.
Good marketing.
Bad candy.
Great marketing. Oh, so see, I'm nervous now because this next one, Dots, take it or leave it.
Take it. I like Dots. I'll take it. I like Dots. Dots are good.
So you just like candy that's not overly sweet. Like it's just like it's got a little bit.
Sweet Tarts is too much. Okay. Dots. The problem with Dots is they get stuck in your teeth. But it tastes good. I like it. And they can't, once they get old, they get too hard. And like, you got to get like, this is a ridiculous thing to say. You got to get fresh Dots.
Yeah,
which is the most ridiculous. It's ridiculous to call Dots fresh. You got to get fresh Dots.
So I'm trying to think of the candy. It's not Dots. Mike and Ike's. So you like Mike and Ike's?
Yeah, those are fine.
Okay, so
Those are good.
I see the type of candy you like. You like sweet candy, but it's
Well,
not
the all-time
overly sweet.
GOAT for sure. I put that Chris Marler's doing a story. Reese's is the best.
Okay.
By,
you know what?
by
There
a
you go.
landslide.
Hold up. Let me hit that.
I'll take it.
Okay.
By a landslide. Now, here's the thing you
Okay.
got to look at, and I've said this on the show before, but it bears repeating. Whoever is in marketing and product development for Reese's is brilliant.
Thank you.
Because if you go to a gas station and you look, there are like 14 variations of Reese's,
Yes.
and they're all the same.
Yes.
It's the minis, it's the classic 2 cups, it's the king size, it's
Yeah.
the jumbo,
You seen the
it's
Oreo
Reese's
ones?
Pieces, it's fast break,
Yeah.
it's inside out, it's
Yeah.
white. It's like
They got 5
they're
in
all
one.
the same. They're
Yeah.
all chocolate and peanut butter,
Yes.
and there's 12 of them.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
They're ooh.
Marketing.
Now I had to add this next one because I just had a feeling once I seen these other ones. Swedish Fish, take it or leave it.
I'll take it. That's fine.
I'll take it.
It's fine. I mean, Myers has some Swedish Fish in his bucket right now that he got. He went trick-or-treating at my wife's work, and he got a little candy from it, and Swedish Fish was in there. He likes it. What about Twizzlers?
Oh, let me hit this.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Leave
Twizzlers
it alone.
are good.
Oh, see, all right, I know what's okay. It's funny you're saying this because the candies that you like. If this house is giving these candies out, I'm just like, I don't like this.
What candy do you want? What do you? We got 50
I need
seconds.
like a king size Snickers or something. Definitely a king size Snickers. I need like some Nerds. I love Nerds.
Bro,
Nerds. Yes,
gross.
Nerds. Some Nerds. Skittles.
Nerds and Sweet Tarts?
Yes, Nerds.
Grow up,
Skittles.
Jordan
No,
Kitchens.
these are
Grow
the best
up.
candy.
Grow up.
Look, before we got here, I got to ask you this real quick. What type of parent are you with the candy? Are you waiting till like they go to sleep and you're going through their stuff, or like how are you approaching
he's
this?
4. I can go. I will eat a piece of his candy after dinner every night for the next month.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
Okay.
I have to make sure he doesn't see me go in there.
Yeah.
Because he'll go nuts, but he won't notice.
Okay.
We're done. Matt's driving you home next on After Further Review.
Oh, we're not out of here yet.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly